Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Minecraft video on my channel. My name is KIllFeed, or Brandon, here today. Now, in today's video, we're going to have a fully in-depth iron farm for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Now, I'm going to go over this because there are a lot of people having issues with my farms, and people think they're fake. They're not fake. I don't fake content, for one, but for two, it's just mostly just villagers being stupid. And these farms are kind of hard to understand how villagers work. I don't even understand how they work half the time either. I just go with it and then I figure it out. So we're going to go ahead and go over every single common issue with the villagers and with your iron farms themselves. So make sure you stay to the end. If you guys are going to skip around and ask me at the end of the video, my iron farm's not working, what do I do? Watch the video. That's all you have to do. Also, leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the resource list where I'm going to go ahead and go over everything we need. Alright guys, so everything you're going to need for this build is right here in this chest. You're going to go ahead and grab yourself a map, 4 chests, 4 hoppers, 4 stacks of building materials. It does not matter what these building materials are, just as long as they are solid blocks, not glass. You need 2 stacks of leaves, and no, they are not allowed to be glass. They have to be leaves. You'll also need 20 villagers. Now, these villagers cannot be traded with. You cannot have a villager that you have, oh, I have a mending book with them, but I'm going to use them in this farm. No, you're not. You can't do that. They have to be 20 brand new villagers, 20 fully grown villagers, and 20 villagers that are not nitwits. If you need a villager breeder, I just made an upload on my YouTube channel of a villager breeder that does about 8 villagers every, I think it's like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. So go check it out. It's going to be annotation on screen right now. Go check that out and then come right back. Also, go ahead and grab yourself 20 working stations. Now, I'm using a fletching table. You guys can use other professions, but they all have to be the same profession. Okay, don't be doing 45 different working stations, okay? Literally only do one working station. So either only fletching tables, only smithing tables, only cookers, only anything. Like only one thing needs to be for the villager's working station. Also, go ahead and grab yourself 20 beds. No, the color of beds do not matter. Just grab 20 of them and make sure they're only linked to the villagers that are going to be using them, not to any other villager. Also, grab yourself 3 stacks of magma blocks, 2 stacks of signs. It doesn't really matter what kind, just signs. Obviously, 32 of them. Go ahead and grab yourself 2 buckets of lava, 2 buckets of water, 4 stacks of glass. No, this cannot be leaves as a substitute. They have to be glass. Also, grab yourself 20 carpets. Doesn't matter what color, just 20 carpets. 4 trap doors, 4 rails, and 4 minecart with a hopper. Now, I already have my chunk lined out. As you guys can see, I have everything already placed down. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what we're going to do to figure out where this chunk is. Now, if you're on Xbox, you can use a shader that shows you where chunks are. If you're on Windows 10 that plays Bedrock, you can also use the same shader that shows you. PS4, we're left out. We can't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. As you guys know, I'm on PS4. Bottom left corner, bottom right corner shows you a triangle and a circle. I'm on PS4, right? So what we're going to do is you're going to make this cross, right? Just make a big cross in the middle of your farm, wherever you want to do it. And just do like a 20 line. Each line needs to be 20 blocks long, right? Now, what you can do from there is I'm going to go ahead and go to pause. You're going to go to settings. Go down the video. Go all the way down to fancy leaves. I know this is tedious, but you have to do it. Now, go ahead and turn them off. Now, as you guys can see, those leaves are still fancy. Technically, they're fancy because they're see-through, as the leaves in my hand are not fancy. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to one side of the little strip that you made, a 20 by 20, and come back about 3 or 4 blocks. I'm going to go ahead and do 4 just in case, and place down. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to update and tell you exactly where the line is for the chunk. Now, at this line, I know that this right here is a different chunk. As you guys can see, the new leaves have been updated and the old leaves hasn't, because I updated this chunk. If I would have placed the block right here instead of back there, this whole thing would have lit up like that. So if your whole thing lights up in old leaves, move that block closer or that block farther whenever you place it down. To reset the leaves, all you have to do is just go back in the settings, go ahead and change them from old to fancy, and then replace a block and it'll update all the leaves. But with that being said, what we're going to do now is that we're going to mark it. So we know that nothing past this point, so we don't even have to worry about this side, luckily us. We know nothing past this is a part of our chunk. So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to come to this side right here. We're going to pause it. We're going to go back into settings. We're going to go down to video. We're going to scroll all the way down to those fancy leaves. Turn them back on. Now, as you guys can see, like this is what I was talking about. The leaves are still as they were. They're not fancy. They're still stuck in the same one because we have not updated that chunk. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to go ahead and update this chunk again. Now, as you guys can see, all of them are fancy, besides the ones that are out of the chunk. And I do have it marked, but this is how you find it. Is see how those are old leaves and these are fancy leaves. If you guys cannot tell the difference, I'll go ahead and get really close for you guys to go ahead and tell the difference. As you guys can see, so if they look like this, once you update your chunk, destroy them. Now we do know that this block is gone, so now anything past this is not part of our chunk. So now we need to figure out this way and this way. How we're going to do that is very simple. So we're going to go ahead and come back over here. And we're going to come back. Now, I did destroy this line. You don't really want to do that, but you can. It doesn't really matter. So now go ahead and go all the way back down the video. Go all the way down the fancy leaves. Turn them off. And then go ahead and just place it down. Now, what this should do is it's going to update it. So right here. So as you guys can see, this is our chunk border. Right here, this is where our wall will be built. And everything past it is not. So now we can destroy these 3 blocks and that one right there. So now, just like the other 2 sides, we know that nothing past this is part of our chunk. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out that side. Let me go ahead and come back. So like I said before, we're going to go ahead and come to video, and we're going to go all the way back down the fancy leaves. We're going to turn them off, and then we're going to come back about 3 or 4 blocks, place it down. Now what this is going to do, like you guys know, it's going to update everything inside this chunk, and everything behind it, it's not going to update. So we know that right here is our cutoff point. And then now we can just mine out these leaves. And then we can go ahead and get rid of this one lonely block. Also this one lonely block. And then now we have our chunk layout. As you guys can see, this right here is 16 blocks. And that is 16 blocks. I'm going to go ahead and count them for you guys so you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And going that way, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So, at that being said, that means that you've done it correctly. Now, if you just count out a 16 by 16 square, that is not a chunk. That is a user-made chunk, and that is not going to work for you guys. You have to have an in-game chunk, and I just showed you guys how to do it. If you guys got any type of confused, please go back and rewatch it. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have some stuff marked out underneath. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a huge wall around this thing. So go ahead and just connect your whole chunk together with a ring of leaves. These are the exact positions our villagers will go in the air. So how you mark them is you're just going to go in 2 blocks technically. So 1, 2, and go down and mark it with leaves. Go over here, go down 1, 2, and then do it again. And then go ahead and do it on all 4 sides. Alright guys, so now we're going to find the center point of our chunk. Now how we're going to do it is that we're going to come to this corner, and we're just going to go all the way across just like this. You're going to go to corner, and we're going to figure out the center of it, because we do need to figure out the center for our farm to be centralized so we can mark out where we need to place our beds later on. So go ahead and do this. And you're probably wondering, well, where's the center? It's the only place where all 4 corners meet, which is right there. Okay, guys, so now we're going to go ahead and build our collection system. So how we're going to do that is we're going to go ahead and knock out this layer of blocks. And then now go ahead and dig 1 down into your farm. And then now go ahead and place down your chest right here and a chest right here. Double chest, that is. Now go ahead and crouch and place your hoppers feeding into them. Now crouch, and you're going to place 2 rails like that. Now before you do anything, go ahead and crouch on one side and place a leaf down. And go ahead and crouch on the other and place a leaf down. Just like that. Now go ahead and fill it all the way around. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to place a rail cart here and one here. Now the next step is to go ahead and destroy the rails underneath. And then place 2 down right here again. And then we're going to repeat the process over. Now what this is going to do, this is going to feed our iron into our chest. So it's going to be very easy. Now with this being said, now you're probably wondering, how do I delete those rails? All you have to do is just go ahead and break 1 at a time. So that one's broke, and then now that one's broke. So now they will never move, but you can go ahead and leave this ring around just in case you accidentally nudge them or something, but go ahead and leave it just like that. Okay guys, so now with that being done, what we're going to do is we're going to outline these leaves in magma blocks. Now this is going to go ahead and set up our first part of our killing point for the farm. But before we move any further, what we're going to do, we're going to mark out the center for because this is going to be our center point. Now we're going to leave this center point mark here because later on we're going to need it for our lava. So go ahead and leave it right here. And with that being said, what we're going to do is that we're going to go out 8 blocks with magma. So remember, there's 1 block here, 2 blocks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. To make sure you've done it, you're going to go ahead and go out to your leaf marking on all 4 sides. So it's very simple. Just go ahead and go out to your leaves on all 4 sides. It really doesn't matter which one you choose. But once you have done it and made it to your leaf, go ahead and fill in this huge square. Okay, guys, so the next step, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and go out 1 and up 1 just like this. But we're going to go out 3. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a big ring around, because what this is going to do is that this is going to maximize your spawn area for the iron golems. You're probably wondering, well, we're going outside the chunk boundary. You are correct. But the way we're going to position the villagers and how we're going to do them, you guys have to do them just like me for them to actually work. This is going to cause the village iron golems to spawn a little differently. And once we go ahead and mark this out, this is going to give us the full spectrum of the iron golem spawning mechanics. So let's go ahead and just outline this big old circle. And then now what we're going to do is, yes, you're going to fill this in with building blocks. Now go ahead and pull out your glass. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go out 1 and up 2 just like this. And now you're going to make a big ring around your farm again. Okay, guys. So for the next step, you guys are going to have to follow it identically to me. We're going to be putting in our villagers. And the main problem with these iron farms that you guys have is that you guys put in these villagers correctly, and then you put a working station down like under it or beside it or close to it. You can't do that. Once these villagers link to this iron farm, you cannot build anything close to it. I would say probably within like 250, 300 blocks, just to be safe. I'm not sure on the number, but once you put these villagers down, do not build anything close to this thing or put any kind of working stations close to this thing. If you have a villager breeder right next to it, move it, get it away, or build this farm several hundred blocks away so this farm can work for you. Okay, guys, so for the next step, we're going to go ahead and find the exact spot we're going to be putting in our villagers. So you remember that leaf block I told you guys to put in on the ground earlier? So we're going to go ahead and find that again. Just a little tip for you is that it's actually 3 blocks from this corner. So 1, 2, and 3. And as you guys can see, the little block is down there. But go ahead and place it just like this. Now, you don't have to place the glass there. I'm doing it just to show you guys where they are. So 1, 2, 2, and 3. And as you guys can see, it's there. So go ahead and do this, or I'm going to do this on all 4 sides just to show you guys exactly where they are. Now, with that being said, go ahead and go up 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you guys can see, now the bottom 3 need to go. And do it on this side as well. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then go ahead and do this. 2, 3, 4. And 2, 3, and 4. And go ahead and remove all the bottom ones. Now, those locations are where our villagers are going to be standing. Now, you're probably wondering, what do you mean? So I'm going to go ahead and show you. Now, we're going to go ahead and make the pods. Now, it doesn't matter how you make them, which one you go to make them, but go ahead and just do it just like this all the way around on every pod. Okay, guys, so for the trap door, what you're going to do is you're going to knock out 1 pane, put it up there, and then close it just like that. Okay, guys, so now we're going to put in our villagers. So just to go over a few things very, very quickly and very detailed. Do not have any beds anywhere close to here. If you have a bed down, it's yours. If you heard rumors that, hey, they don't connect to your bed, that's a lie. Destroy it and pick it up. And if you have any workstations at all anywhere close to this village that we're building, destroy them. Because if you guys don't know, if we put a villager here, just for example, right? He's a librarian. And then if we have a smithing table where that chicken is, and he connects to it, which he will, the center of the village will no longer be here. Once we place down our beds, it will be like over here. So iron golems will not spawn because the center of the village is not located over a spawning platform that they have to spawn on in the middle of the air. As they're up elevated, there's a reason why we built it this tall, so they can spawn on this level. So make sure there is no workstations, no nothing anywhere close. So let's go ahead and continue with our villagers. So what we're going to do, we're going to add in 5 at a time. No nitwits and no baby villagers, and no one that we traded with. So that's 1, 2, 3, and we have a nitwit, 4, and 5. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that nitwit. Okay, guys, so I got rid of the nitwit. Now, all I'm going to do is just add in one more villager, and there we go. So now that we have 5 villagers, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. Also, by the way, do not add in any more villagers until we get done with these 5. Okay, guys, so now we're going to add in our beds. So make sure you do not skip this part because we have to make sure that we're adding the correct amount of beds to villagers. So we're going to be linking them to the beds and the workstations at the same time. Believe it or not, it's going to work. Alrighty, guys, so now we're going to go ahead and put in our beds. So this is a very crucial step because we are going to be actually pinpointing the center of our village for these villagers here. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go ahead and mark up from our center of our magma. And remember, I told you guys to go ahead and mark it earlier. If you guys don't remember that step, go back, rewatch it, and come back here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go up 3 blocks from the magma. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to go ahead and make a 2x2 just like this. And then now what we're going to do is that we're going to come to each side and we're going to add 2 blocks just like this. Now, I know it seems very weird, but go ahead and do it. And then with that being said, go ahead and fill it in as well. Now, do not add any more blocks. Do not add any beds yet because we have to determine which way we are looking. Now, but with that being said, we have to be looking north. So as you guys know, this way is north, the top of your map, if you guys do not know. So with that being said, we know the center of our point is that right there. And how we know that is because there's 2 blocks this way, this way, this way, and this way. And we only added 2 to each side. So, alright guys, so I went ahead and made my center a different block than yours so you guys can understand it in video. So, what we're going to do is that we're going to go ahead and pull out our map. And we're going to look north. Now, once you are looking north, we know exactly where we're going to place our bed, believe it or not. So, go ahead and pull out your bed. So, you're going to go to your center. And on the right side of your center, because we're looking north, so we're going to judge this is our right side, we're going to go down 1. So right there is going to be our first bed. 1 in from the layer, but 1 off from the center. As you guys can see, this is our exact center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add 6 beds and 6 beds only. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now why we are adding 6 instead of 5 is so we can add more villagers to each pod. Now just trust me, it's going to work. But this station right here is made for 18 beds, but we need 20. We're going to have to add 2 more beds, but that will come at a later time. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to add the workstations to our villagers. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a temporary block on top. And now we're going to destroy all the middle blocks because we put in our little fence so they cannot get out. So now we're going to go ahead and place down a workstation there. And you should see little sparkles. There's 1. Now we're going to wait. And as soon as they go away, go ahead and place down another one. That's 2. Now wait. And then place down another one. And that should be 3. And now what we can do is that we're going to go ahead and place one right here. So we're going to place a temporary block on the fletching table. Place one right here. And that's a 4th one. And now we know we have 5 villagers in here. So we know we only need 5 little glowing triangles. And go ahead and add in another one. And as soon as we place it, he joins the working force. So now with that being said, what you can do is we're going to open this hatch and we're going to add in the water. So as you guys can see, I have the glass illuminated. That means that I'm on the top of the glass. I'm not going to punch a villager. Go ahead and place in your water and then close down the flap. So that part is done. But you cannot rush it and you cannot go ahead and go to another villager because they are all different. So let's go ahead and move on to our second pod. Okay guys, so now we're going to go ahead and focus on our next pod. But the simple thing first is that we're going to add in the beds. So remember there's 6 right here, so we're only missing 4. So we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. And now we just have to add 1 more. How we're going to add it is we're going to come to this bed, the middle one. And we're going to go ahead and add another one. So if you guys want to count, there are 10 beds there. And now that gives us a free point to add in more villagers. So we're going to go ahead and place a temporary block on top. And go ahead and count out 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now with that being said, what we can go ahead and do and what we already know what to do is we're going to place a working station on top. And as you can see, there's particles that someone has linked to it. So now we can go ahead and destroy all these blocks as the villagers can't get out. And we're going to go ahead and place one right here. Okay, someone has linked to it. Now we're going to go ahead and wait a second. We're going to sneak over here, crouch, and place one on top of the little trap door. Someone has linked to that one as well. Then we're going to go ahead and place one here. And someone's linked to that one. The farmer actually turned to that one. Now, once he has done that and it's went away, we're going to place another one, and someone has linked to this. Now that that's done, go ahead and make sure you do not forget to add in your water. Now, I just destroyed that trap door, but that's fine. Go ahead and add in your water. Now, make sure you are aiming at the block. Aim for this far left corner, far right corner, and place in the block of water, and then go ahead and close it. As you guys can see, they're in the water, and they are in the water as well. Alrighty, guys, so for the last 2 pods, what we're going to go ahead and do is that I already placed down the 6 beds, so that gives me free reign to go ahead and add in our next 5 villagers. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and add in the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So go ahead and place a working station over them. Okay, he's linked to that one. I'm going to place one right there. I'm going to go ahead and try to get this one. That's 3 villagers down. That's 4 villagers down. And that's 5 villagers down. So now that we're at this point, you're probably wondering, okay, we have 1 pod left. We still have some beds left. Next step, you guys probably guessed it right. We're going to go ahead and add in the last 4 beds. As you remember, we placed 6 here. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then go ahead and come to the center bed again. And you're going to add the beds right here. And then you're going to go ahead and place it right there. Now you guys know the final step. You guys also have to do not forget to put in your water in here. I actually almost did. So there we go. Now go ahead and add in your last 5 villagers. Okay, guys, so with your carpets, what you're going to do is that you're going to place a piece of carpet over all 5 of these. And you're going to do it on every single villager pod. Okay, guys, so now comes to the point where we're going to destroy the blocks underneath the bed. Now, do not try to destroy a bed. You don't want to hit the bed at all. You just want to hit the blocks underneath. So you should start to see iron golems spawning. I haven't got one to spawn yet, but they should start spawning any minute now. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to build the killing chamber. Oh, and as I said that, an iron golem spawns. So go ahead and make sure you do destroy every block underneath the bed besides your 4 original leaves or the little concrete slab you have here, because you need the center point of this thing. So once we have this, we're going to go ahead and destroy these top ones as well. And now it's time to get into our killing chamber. Okay, guys, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to build our killing chamber. Now, we're not going to build it on top of the leaves, because once we destroy the leaves, if we have a sign on top of it, it will actually destroy the sign. So you're going to do all this work for nothing. So go ahead and one by one, go ahead and destroy the leaves, but place a sign down immediately. I'm going to have to fix that because my OCD will kill me. Okay, so once we're doing this, you want to make sure you are doing it on the magma blocks, because this is going to be the block where the iron golem is going to get pushed down onto like that. It's going to take damage. And that's going to help speed up the killing process, because we're going to put lava right here. And the lava and the magma blocks will kill them at a pretty quick rate, so we can have more iron golems constantly spawning in. Okay, so now that you have your 4 signs just like this, go ahead and crouch, and you're going to place a sign on top of all 4 signs. Now, once you have this, what you're going to do is that you're going to crouch and place one on the front top one. So just like that, as you guys can see. And you're going to do it on all 4 sides of this thing. Okay, guys, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is that you're going to crouch and you're going to aim for the side of that one right here. I'll show you guys on this one. And you're going to do it on that side as well. Now, you're going to go ahead and do it on this side, to where you're going to crouch and you're going to place this one just like this. And then go ahead and aim for the side of this one and do it on this side as well. And don't forget these 2. And then most importantly, do not forget the other sides as well. But you are not going to encase them like you did those, because you simply can't. And we're not going to need those. So you should have something that looks a little like that. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is that you're going to place a sign on top of this one and this one. And then now on this side with the 4 faces, you're going to place one on every single face that is on the outside. So that one's on the outside. This one's, oh, I placed it on the wrong side. That one's on the outside. So is that one. So is that one. It doesn't matter if it's leaning, but I'm going to go ahead and fix it, because my OCD will get me. So go ahead and do it just like that on all 4 sides. Okay, guys, so now that that's done, that is pretty much it for your signs. Okay, guys, so now you're going to take out your 2 buckets of lava. Now, obviously, I'm in creative, but you're going to be doing this in survival, so be very, very careful. So go ahead and place a block here, and then get out of here as quick as you can. Now that is at the right height to kill the golems, and the water that we're about to put in will push them into that exact spot. Okay guys, so now we're going to go ahead and add in our waters. This is a pretty important step actually as well. So what we're going to do, you're going to go to all four corners, you're going to go to second block, you're going to place a water bucket there. And then do it on all corners. And then now what you're going to do, you're going to pick two sides. So I'm going to pick this side and this side to have a more V shape. And now what I'm meaning is that with this side right here, you want to create that V side just like that. As you guys can see, it's more of a V. Now with this side, we're not going to let it be a V. We're just going to fill it in. Now what this is going to do is help us with the water sources. So it's not like there's no solid blocks. So this side will not have a V. As you guys can see, it's more of a just run in. Now with this side, we're going to go ahead and not place one here. We're going to place one right there. And remember, there's a V there and a V there. So these two sides are V's and these two sides are not. I know it seems pretty weird, but trust me, this is just how it works. And we're going to place one there for the V. Okay, now we can go ahead and do this side like normal. And then this side is the V. And go ahead and do that. Now, your water should run just like this. If you guys want an overview, let me go ahead and clear my inventory so you guys can see the currents and everything with the streams. Alrighty guys, so now that your farm is already done, I'm going to go ahead and run a little time lapse for you guys to see the totals for this farm. Alrighty guys, so the 10-minute timer just went off, and as you guys can see, my farm actually produced a little lower of an amount of iron. I'm pretty sure it did compared to my other test that I did earlier. Now the reason for this is because Bedrock doesn't have a consistent spawn rate. Obviously Java doesn't either. So there will be times where iron golems will spawn a lot, and then there will be times where iron golems don't spawn. So in my last video of over the same exact iron farm, I did 467 per hour, and in this one we're gonna go ahead and add up the totals. So we have 32 there, and we have 43 here. That's actually a lot. That's 76, right? That's 43 plus 33. I'm pulling up my phone so I can get exactly the correct amount. Plus 33 equals 76 times 6 because we did 10 minutes of time lapse. 10 times 6 is 60 minutes. So 76 times 6 is actually 456 iron per hour. So that is a pretty good hour. Just know that every hour will not be like that, because iron golem farms on Bedrock typically do anywhere from like 200 to 300 iron per hour. But you will have good hours and you will have bad hours. Just know if they're not spawning just like this, give it some time. And make sure that you did not shift the center of the village by placing a workstation close, because these villagers will relink to a different workstation. So make sure you do not have anything close or anything of that nature. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with this farm. Also, make sure you guys do click on the end screen so you guys can go check out more videos of mine. Comment down below if you're having any problems at all, and we'll go ahead and get them sorted out. And if you guys found this useful, please let me know down in the comments down below to earn a heart from me. I'll heart it as soon as you guys make a comment. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this video to 100 likes if you guys made it to the end. Subscribe if you guys are new. And also, huge shout out to my members. They're also on the screen right now. Thank you guys all so much, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.